us on at home, work, and in the car. AM 1300 KGLO.
8:32 here at your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, streaming live online as well at KGLOAM.com and on our KGLO News Facebook page, as it is Tuesday, and that means it is time for Sybil Soukup to join us once again for our Pet of the Week segment with the Humane Society of North Iowa here on KGLO. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Beautiful day.
Yes, better than it's been the last couple of days. We were double checking and making sure there wasn't any heat advisory or air quality alert or
tornado alerts,
tornado warning, or severe thunderstorm warning, which we had a couple
swarms,
of those.
Rivers turning red.
Oof, let's not even go there.
Everything's happening.
Everything's happening. So what's new with you today?
Just we've been so busy at the shelter this summer. I feel like we're kind of in the second half of summer now. So like the 4th of July always seems like the halfway point. But we still have so much going on for the rest of the summer. But just this last weekend, we were at the farmers market downtown, and there was a pride event there going on. There are a lot of different things. And so we were down there with some animals from the shelter, though. And one of them I wanted to talk about, my boy Gilbert. Okay. He was there with us, and a little girl named Moira. But Gilbert is this white pit bull mix, male boy dog, that just is sweet as can be. He was just a real favorite of everybody there, right? Because he greeted everybody with a big hug, whether you wanted one or not, and even a kiss, whether you wanted one or not. Right. But this dog, he came into the shelter last April, as a stray and with a pal. And his pal got adopted, but he did not. Neither of them got reclaimed, by the way. Sorry. But he came in very shy and a little, kind of not sure who to trust and what to do. And then his pal got adopted, and then it kind of was worse, So staff has spent a lot of time, helping him come out of his shell and socializing him. And boy, is he Mr. Social now. Now he just can't get enough meeting new people. And he is definitely ready to be your best friend. So his name is Gilbert, and he was just the star of the show on Saturday at the farmer's market. And he is, just loving life right now, but he'd love it even better if he had a home. Yeah. And, the shelter life it's okay. I mean, people are always like, oh, I can't go out there because it's so sad. But really, for some of these animals, the shelter life is sometimes the best life they might have ever had. Because they may have been, I would assume, well, obviously, maybe in a bad situation at home at their previous home. Yeah. And especially for cats, might have been homeless, right? Not had a home at all. Or in some cases might have had a home that was not treating them well or not being taken care of properly. And so, the shelter world is, we keep them comfortable and fed and cared for, and we attend to their medical needs and their veterinarian care. And we love them and we socialize them, and we have lots of volunteers that help us do that as well. But we are meant to be a temporary stop on their adoption journey. But now Gilbert has been there for several months, and his temporary stop needs to end, and his journey needs to continue. So I'm anxious for him to continue on that journey to adoption and find his forever home. He is certainly deserving because he's such a sweet boy. He's only, I had to look up his date of birth. We have to estimate their ages, right. But we're estimating him at about a year and a half, just, under a year and a half. So he's still got that very rambunctious puppy energy, takes a while for dogs to grow out of that. Right. So he will definitely need some training, some manners, of course, unless you like giving out free hugs, you don't mind giving out the free hugs. Right. That's my euphemism for he jumps on you. Right. We also call that feisty. He's a little feisty. But it's, he's a joyful dog overall. But he does need some training. He is friendly, though outgoing, and really wants to be friends with other dogs, but doesn't know his boundaries. So we're in the park at the farmer's market. Lots of people bring their dogs to the farmer's market, but it's a lot of like little dogs. There are a lot of little Yorkies, a lot of little, small dogs. And oh boy, he wanted to go see them really bad, but he's like 5 times their size. He's going to wrestle them and like play too rough. So an appropriately sized dog to be his friend would probably be a good fit for him. I think he'd probably play too rough with a small dog though. Sure. So anyway, Gilbert, though, would be a great friend. You can learn more about him by going on our website, which is hsni.org. That's HSNI as in Humane Society North Iowa.org. Or you can come see him in person. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4, Saturday, 10 to 2.
And we'll definitely, and I'll shut your mic off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a little frog in my throat there.
It happens, you know.
I got all choked up talking about how sweet Gilbert is.
Well, you would have thought somebody would have wanted to get Gilbert right away after loving everybody.
I know there was a couple there from South Dakota. They were in town for the events going on, and they were very interested. But I'm like, oh, you know, they were wanting to write a check right there, and I'm like, oh well,
it doesn't work that way.
No, we're an adoption agency. We are not a pet store. See, you know, there's an application process, and you know, they weren't in town long enough to do all that. But you know, sometimes we do same day adoptions. You know, if you come in and you look at an animal that's already been spayed or neutered, and you have, you know, if you don't have another pet at home, if you do, we schedule a time for you to bring them in. But, you know, sometimes adoptions take a few days. Sometimes it happens the same day. It's just, it's all dependent on the situation.
Because, you know, we've mentioned before, you know, there's several different steps to the process.
Yes. Yep. It's not a black and white process. There's a lot of gray area.
Right.
So it just all depends on the situation. But like I've said also many times, we want to make really sure that the pet you're applying for is going to be a good fit for you, but also that you're a good fit for them, because we want you both to be happy. And, you know, as the people that are in charge of the animals in our care, we are their stewards. You know, we want to make sure that they are going into appropriate homes where their needs will be met. And, you know, that's our priority. But then also we want to make sure that you're happy too, and that you're getting a pet that's appropriate for what your expectations are.
Yeah. What else would you like to talk about today?
Well, you know, I have an employee that she does a lot of great Facebook posts.
Yeah.
I do some too, but she does really the funny ones. But, you know, and I get lost on some of these because every day is something new. But there's a calendar out there that shows you like all of the offbeat holidays. You know, we have the 4th of July, and then we have Thanksgiving and things like that. But there's a holidays and awareness days. So actually today there's actually 2 holidays. It's World Collie Day.
Okay.
Like a Lassie Day.
Yeah.
We don't have any collies. We had collies in the past, but we don't have any right now in the shelter. But we celebrate all the collies out there.
Might as well.
Go collies.
Right.
We had a pair named Romeo and Juliet one time that were just darling. And then also it is National Craft for Your Local Shelters Day.
Okay.
So, and I thought about this because this is about the time where we start getting requests from like 4-H groups,
right?
Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, you know, Bibles group, you know, school
Vacation Bibles.
Yeah, thank you. Couldn't think of that slew of words. For craft projects and shelter projects. And we actually do have a couple of craft projects that we put together a little document of that if you're interested, if we can put it on our Facebook page. But there's some really simple little crafts. You can make like cat toys out of baby socks with cotton balls and catnip in them. You can take some 2x4s, cut into small sections, and wrap some of that sisal rope around it and use a staple gun or hot glue carefully with adult supervision or help if you needed.
You probably need supervision on that.
Yes.
No matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes a great scratching board for the kitties. The fleece blankets that you cut little strips around and tie them together, make fleece blankets. I mean, there's lots of different ideas out there. Strips of old t-shirts that you make braids out of and for like chew toys for dogs. So there's lots of great ideas. And so if your group is looking to make a craft project for the shelter pets, I will post something later on today on our Facebook page. But also look online. There's lots of great ideas out there, more than probably what I've just found. But we welcome homemade crafts as long as they're safe for the dogs and don't have a lot of, you know, things that would come apart or come loose that would be a choke hazard. Yeah. There's also a lot of homemade treats. I mean, that's a different kind of craft, but we've had groups in the past that make us homemade dog bones, homemade treats, you know, out of pumpkin puree or applesauce or cheese. Which those are great. Dogs love that. But anyway, it's a great way to celebrate is to help your local shelter with craft project.
Good idea. Good idea. So,
it's a holiday.
If anybody who needs to get a contact, what should they do?
So again, you can come see us in person.
Yeah.
We're located here in Mason City on Old River Road, 2700 South Birch Drive.
Look for a few eagles while you're driving down the road.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't get down there again this week.
Oh, you're missing out.
I will make the goal when I leave this building today to drive that. Just to take a quick look.
You should. And I have to make sure, I have to look to make sure there's no traffic coming.
Right.
Because otherwise
that's usually a good idea.
I'm going to have a head on collision because I'm driving and I'm slowly driving, but I'm looking up to look for the eagles. I should admit that on air, huh?
Yeah.
But I go slow.
Just,
I'll stay in my lane.
The rule is we don't want to have a news story about you in that regards.
No. But there's also wild turkeys out there right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And the DNR is doing a turkey report online. They want you to report the number of turkeys you see. So I've already reported 5 out there.
I just wanted to say, have you been doing your
I've been doing my duty, yes. And then there's lots of Canadian geese out there still.
Yeah.
And their babies are really grown up and getting ready to take flight this fall, I'm sure. So lots of wildlife out on our end of town that we love it out there. Yeah. The river's beautiful. Always gets a little nervous when we have heavy rains because the river gets high, but I keep tabs on it. There's river meters throughout town that I check.
In the past, has there been problems out there?
Oh yeah.
I guess I've never. I know obviously that's right on the river, but I just have never thought about what problems you may have had in the past.
In 2008, when we had the 100-year flood, and the whole city was underwater.
Right.
The road and everything out there was completely underwater, but our building was not even constructed yet.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Right.
But our building is high enough on a hill that we're technically out of the flood zone.
Sure.
But there have been about 3 or 4 times, maybe 4 times, that we've had enough rain and water that the road has been submerged.
Wow.
And so we, obviously we need to have people there to take care of the animals. Right. And so we've had lots of employees that have stayed overnight at the shelter. We have one particular employee that, man, he's a real Daniel Boone type. He's a real survivalist.
Hopefully he appreciates that terminology.
I think he would. He really would. He's kind of thrives on surviving types. But he has always been the first to volunteer, when there's an emergency, whether it's be an ice storm and we're worried about employees making it in, bad weather, snowstorms, power outages, we can still go through, but flooding, he's more than happy to stay out there. And we have other employees that have stayed out there as well. Because we always need to have somebody, even if there's nobody there and the road closes, we are in trouble because you can't get a boat through raging waters.
Yeah. You don't want to put anybody in that situation.
No. And the only way through, we could get through, but it'd be through a farmer's field, through the back way, through like the Hy-Vee back door, which would be an arduous, messy.
Yeah. Especially if you've had heavy rain,
it'd be like quicksand out there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good either.
So we plan and watch and, check things accordingly. And I check out the National Weather Service, oceanic water tables, whatever it is. For that. But yeah, we have had many times where the road's gone underwater and a couple times that the road's gone underwater, but it hasn't ever come up to the building. We do have a shut off valve for the sewer system in the front yard that we can shut things off. And we're pretty good out there for emergencies. We've got, plans, but yeah, it's a great location otherwise. And we deal with Mother Nature as she comes. Well,
I think I interrupted your, where you're at and website stuff, and
we're talking wild turkeys.
I led you down the road of wild turkeys.
We get sidetracked easily. Squirrel. Yes. So South Birch Drive, and again we're open Tuesday through Friday 10 to 4, Saturday 10 to 2. Anybody can volunteer. You just come in, wear appropriate footwear, no flip flop slides. Dogs will pull you out of that. But you show up and volunteer. We'll walk you through the process of volunteering. And then you can look at all of our adoptable animals online, hsni.org. We're on Facebook, very active on Facebook. And we do have like Instagram, TikTok, and those kind of things. Not as active on there because there's only so many things we can manage.
Exactly.
Would love to help though, if anybody out there can help us. But anyway, check us out. Come meet my buddy Gilbert and make us some craft projects.
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan for this week. So.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Sybil Soukup with the Humane Society of North Iowa here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO.